Welcome back to NBC News Channel. Today we will learn about the explosive confrontation brewing between Xander Kyriakis and Brady Black, as well as a terrifying medical emergency that will leave everyone in Salem on edge next week. Xander's fury erupts. Xander Kyriakis finds himself consumed by a storm of anger and frustration. He confronts Brady Black about his intentions toward Sarah. The tension between these two men has been building for weeks, and next week it finally reaches a boiling point that threatens to explode into something far more dangerous. Xander's protective instincts kick into overdrive when he realizes that Brady has been actively pursuing a romantic relationship with the woman he still considers his wife, despite the crumbling state of their marriage. The confrontation becomes heated as Xander demands answers and makes it clear that Brady needs to back off immediately. However, Brady refuses to be intimidated by Xander's threats and anger. With remarkable composure and unwavering confidence, Brady delivers a devastating counter-argument that cuts straight to the heart of the matter. He firmly reminds Xander that he no longer has any authority to control Sarah's life or make decisions about who she spends time with. This brutal truth lands like a punch to Xander's gut, forcing him to confront the reality that his actions have cost him not just his marriage, but also any claim to influence over Sarah's future choices. The confrontation between these two men represents more than just a rivalry over a woman. It symbolizes the complete dissolution of Xander's control over a relationship he once cherished. Brady's words serve as a harsh wake-up call, reminding Xander that the consequences of his past deceptions and violent behavior have permanently altered the power dynamic in their relationship. The moment is particularly painful for Xander because deep down, he knows Brady is absolutely right. The divorce papers await. In the aftermath of this heated confrontation, Xander appears to experience a moment of clarity and acceptance. The reality of his situation finally sinks in, and he realizes that fighting against the inevitable will only cause more pain for everyone involved. With a heavy heart and a sense of resignation, Xander agrees to meet with Sarah to take care of the final piece of business that will officially end their marriage. The divorce papers have been prepared, and all that remains is for both parties to add their signatures to the documents that will legally dissolve their union. This meeting between Xander and Sarah promises to be emotionally charged and incredibly difficult for both of them. Despite all the pain, betrayal, and broken promises that have characterized the final chapter of their relationship, there are still deep feelings between them that make this moment particularly heartbreaking. Xander has spent months hoping for reconciliation and believing that somehow they could find their way back to each other. But Sarah's determination to move forward with the divorce makes it clear that she has made her final decision. The signing of these divorce papers represents the official closure of a marriage that once held so much promise and potential. For Xander, putting his signature on that document means accepting that he has lost the woman he loves due to his own poor choices and inability to be honest with her. For Sarah, it represents freedom from a relationship that has caused her tremendous pain and disappointment, and the opportunity to start fresh without the weight of Xander's betrayals holding her back. Rachel's dangerous mistake. Just when it seems like the drama surrounding the divorce is the most significant storyline unfolding, something far more urgent and life-threatening occurs. The weekly promo concludes with a terrifying scene that shows Sarah in severe respiratory distress, struggling desperately to catch her breath as panic sets in. Standing nearby, Brady's face transforms from confusion to horror as he pieces together what has happened. And he turns to his daughter Rachel with a question that carries both urgency and dread. "Rachel, what did you do?" The explanation for Sarah's sudden medical crisis lies in a dangerous food allergy that has been established in previous storylines. Sarah has a severe allergy to pistachios, a condition that can trigger anaphylactic shock and potentially prove fatal if not treated immediately. On this particular occasion, ice cream sundaes are displayed on the table, offering what appears to be a harmless treat for everyone present. However, Rachel makes a critical error in judgment that puts Sarah's life in immediate jeopardy. Whether Rachel's action is completely innocent or carries a hint of malicious intent remains unclear. But the result is the Sameshi gives Sarah an ice cream sundae that contains pistachios as a topping. The moment Sarah consumes even a small amount of this potentially deadly ingredient, her body begins to react violently. Her throat starts to swell, making it increasingly difficult to breathe, and her respiratory system begins to shut down as the allergic reaction intensifies. The situation deteriorates rapidly, transforming what should have been a pleasant social gathering into a life-or-death emergency that requires immediate medical intervention. Echoes of past trauma. For young Rachel Black, witnessing Sarah's medical crisis and realizing that she is the direct cause of this emergency triggers something deep and disturbing within her psyche. The situation bears an uncomfortable resemblance to another traumatic event from her recent past shooting of E.J. DiMera. In that previous incident, Rachel found herself connected to violence and serious harm befalling another person, and the psychological impact of that experience left lasting scars on her young mind. Now, seeing Sarah struggle to breathe and knowing that her own actions led directly to this terrifying moment, Rachel is forced to confront the weight of responsibility once again. The parallel between these two situations is impossible to ignore, and it raises serious questions about the long-term psychological effects that these traumatic experiences are having on Rachel's development. For a child to be involved in multiple incidents where someone's life hangs in the balance creates a pattern that could have devastating consequences for her mental health and emotional well-being moving forward. Brady, as Rachel's father, now faces the difficult task of helping his daughter process yet another traumatic event while simultaneously ensuring that Sarah receives the urgent medical attention she desperately needs. The guilt and fear that Rachel experiences in this moment could potentially shape her behavior and emotional responses for years to come, particularly if proper therapeutic intervention is not provided. This incident also complicates Brady's budding relationship with Sarah, as the fact that his daughter nearly killed her whether accidentally or otherwise creates a significant obstacle that will need to be addressed and overcome. Medical emergency and aftermath. The chaos that erupts following Sarah's allergic reaction sends everyone present into panic mode as they scramble to help her. Time becomes critical in situations involving severe allergic reactions, as anaphylactic shock can progress rapidly and prove fatal within minutes if not properly treated. Someone needs to locate an EpiPen or call emergency services immediately, and every second of delay increases the danger Sarah faces. Fortunately, spoilers confirm that Sarah will ultimately be fine after receiving appropriate medical attention. Whether this means someone on the scene has access to emergency medication or paramedics arrive in time to administer life-saving treatment, Sarah manages to survive this frightening ordeal without suffering permanent damage. However, the psychological and emotional aftermath of this incident will ripple through multiple relationships and storylines in the weeks ahead. The fact that Rachel was responsible for Sarah's near-death experience creates enormous tension and complicates the already difficult situation between Brady and Xander. Xander, who despite signing divorce papers still cares deeply for Sarah's well-being, will likely be furious that Brady's daughter nearly killed her. This incident could reignite Xander's anger toward Brady and provide him with ammunition to argue that Brady and his troubled daughter are dangerous influences who should stay far away from Sarah. For Brady, the situation creates a painful dilemma between his loyalty to his daughter and his growing feelings for Sarah. He must find a way to help Rachel cope with the guilt and trauma of what happened, while also making amends to Sarah and ensuring that appropriate safeguards are put in place to prevent similar incidents in the future. The road ahead will require careful navigation of complicated emotions, difficult conversations, and the rebuilding of trust that has been severely damaged by this frightening event. Complex relationships moving forward. As the dust settles from these dramatic events, the relationships between all the characters involved will enter new and complicated territory. Xander and Sarah's divorce appears to be moving forward despite earlier suggestions from the actors that their story might not be completely finished. The signing of the divorce papers marks an official end to their legal marriage. But the emotional connections and shared history between them ensure that their story will continue to evolve in unexpected ways. Brady's pursuit of Sarah now faces significant obstacles beyond just Xander's opposition. The fact that his daughter nearly killed Sarah through a dangerous allergic reaction creates a serious impediment to any romantic relationship they might build. Sarah will need time to recover physically and emotionally from this traumatic experience, and she will undoubtedly question whether becoming involved with Brady is worth the complications that come with Rachel's presence in his life. Meanwhile, Rachel's psychological state and behavioral patterns emerge as a serious concern that demands attention from the adults in her life. Being connected to multiple incidents where people are seriously harmed suggests deeper issues that require professional intervention and therapy. Brady must prioritize his daughter's mental health and emotional well-being while also holding her accountable for her actions and ensuring she understands the severity of what happened. The coming weeks in Salem promise continued drama as these characters navigate the aftermath of betrayal, divorce, near-death experiences, and complicated family dynamics. Xander must learn to accept that his marriage to Sarah is truly over and find a way to move forward with his life. Sarah needs to heal both physically from the allergic reaction and emotionally from the end of her marriage while deciding whether Brady represents a genuine fresh start or just more complications. Brady faces the challenging task of helping his troubled daughter while trying to build a new relationship. And Rachel must somehow process the trauma of being responsible for another person's medical emergency and the guilt that comes with that responsibility.